Hello, hello. How's everyone doing tonight? Thank you for joining us here on the channel. Thank you so much. Let me just get some things straight here. Let me share this in the group. Thank you, thank you. Can you guys hear me okay? Is everything good? So how's everyone doing tonight? How are you guys doing? How's your week been so far? Interesting, not so interesting? Yeah, it's been interesting. I guess for everyone that lives here in Houston, last night we had a thunderstorm. It was raining like crazy. I think some parts of Houston were flooding. And this was in the middle of the night. Yeah, that happened. Yeah, hey, what's up? What's up? How's it going? What's up, everyone? Oh, awesome. Perfect, perfect. Nice to see everybody. Yeah, nice to see you guys. Once again, thank you for joining the stream. Thank you for joining us. Uh, if you're not subscribed, just subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. I had to drive in it this morning. Yeah. Was it scary? Gray Ghost. Yeah, well, I didn't even realize it was raining hard in the morning. I know, um, I remember about what, probably like 4 in the morning, it was coming down hard. The thunder was so loud. Yeah, I was worried. Well, the neighborhood where we live doesn't really flood, but I remember opening the door at 5 in the morning and I saw water everywhere. It's like, oh man, here we go. Yeah. Well, let's. We have some interesting things tonight. Let's get on with it. But uh, for I mean, I'm sure I should have started with introducing myself. I'm John Leigh. I'm the CEO of Anime Matsuri. Nice to meet you guys. There's many people here that there's many people here that I know. Yeah. Oh well. Anime Charleston. Anime Matsuri was the very first convention I ever went. I first I first time start going to this event since the year 2011. Yep. Well, that's cool. In 2011, 2011 was that what was Anime Matsuri 2011 at the next to Reliant. That was an interesting year. It was going on at the same time as the rodeo. Hmm. We don't talk about that year. In 2012, we went back to the Woodlands, um, and then 2013 we went was we went to the Hyatt Regency downtown, and that was interesting. 2014 was our first time back at the George R. Brown Convention Center, and we've been there ever since. Considering Anime Matsuri started in 2007, and the first year was at the George R. Brown. And then we went 2008. We went to the Woodlands at the Waterway, the Marriott Waterway, and that was a pretty venue with the waterway at the back. It was pretty interesting, and we were there for 3 years, 2008, 2009, 2010, and 2012. 2009 was pretty interesting because we had Miyavi in concert, and I remember. Miyavi has such crazy fans. It was such a crazy concert, but it was interesting. And considering it was our third year, and hosting someone like Miyavi was a dream come true. But it was so surreal, I gotta say. Yep. Back on, back on. Started in 2007. Can you believe it? 2007, and we had the concert in the General Assembly at the George R. Brown, and a new group, an indie group called Fizz, opened, and then Back On played. It was pretty awesome. And Back On came back in 2010, I think. But it's been a crazy ride. We've had so many interesting concerts and memorable performers. I've enjoyed every year immensely. I feel very lucky and honored to produce the concerts and to work with the awesome performers. Not to mention seeing the happiness in the everyone's eyes, and just being there and being part of it and witnessing everything. And not to mention, I also have great love for Houston. So bringing this kind of performances and acts to Houston is it makes me very, very happy. Remember, for those that were at Anime Matsuri 2016, that was Morning Musume. And that was the first time Morning Musume came here to Texas, and it was a big deal. If you guys remember, one of the members, a couple of weeks before coming to Texas, had an accident during rehearsal, and she sprained her ankle. So she was on stage on a chair. I mean, she came on a wheelchair, and she insisted she wanted to perform, and that was interesting. In 2017 was the Sailor Moon musical, if you guys remember that. For those that went to Anime Matsuri 2017, yep, that happened. So there's been many memorable performances, events, concerts. I've loved every year. Yeah. All right. So now let's get on to some questions here. All right. So first of all, questions. Yeah. Well, I know we've had many requests for Lisa. Lisa is pretty popular, and honestly, Lisa, she, especially this year, because she sings the song for Demon Slayer, and we reached out to her. Unfortunately, at the time, she had an event on the Friday, so on the same weekend as we were at, which was our original dates in July. So she couldn't make it. But even after we moved our dates to August, now there's a different problem, because now there's some travel restrictions with Japan, and just sorting out visas now takes longer. So it's a little more complicated, especially for someone like Lisa. So we hear you. We've had many recommendations for Lisa, and we read your recommendations, and of course we want to bring the artists that you want, and we know that you want Lisa, and so hopefully one of these years, one of these years, we'll get Lisa to Houston to Anime Matsuri so she can perform live for everybody. We're doing our best to bring all the guests that you request. And I'm sure you can understand that. If you look at the convention, if you look at our guest list, and we put this together by your recommendations. We read all year round your emails, your messages, your tweets, and we go after as many of them as possible. I mean, I always say that your voice matters, and the convention is a collaboration. It's a partnership between you and us. So you have ideas of your own and the things that you like, and we have our ideas, and we kind of put them together, and this is how the event manifests. This is where we get all the ideas for the events. And we have, over the years, we've brought so many interesting acts and people and guests to Anime Matsuri. And we don't take credit for all of it, really. I mean, a lot of credit goes to you, because that's where we get the ideas from. And we feel that no matter how crazy some of these recommendations are, because sometimes, and I'll be honest, the when we so in 2015 we got when we after Anime Matsuri 2015, we received a bunch of messages, and people were like, we would really love a popular idol group. Please bring Morning Musume. And at that time, we thought that was a crazy idea. I mean, Morning Musume, there's not only are there a lot of them in the group, but you're talking about an entourage. It's just a lot of people. So the logistics of a concert like that is it's complicated. But I mean, we worked on it for a year, and I mean, the concert was worth it, I think, in my opinion. So, however many of you guys, if you were there in Anime 2016, what did you think of that concert? And not only that, the deal was, what they wanted was, because it was their first time in Texas, they wanted to shoot the whole thing and release a DVD to their fans back in Japan. So that entire thing was shot, and that DVD sold out in a day. We wanted to get some. I mean, we have about 3 or 4 copies, and we had people over here asking to buy them and whatnot, but I don't think they estimated how popular it would be. And all the DVDs sold out in Japan. So there was none left for the, I guess, the fans over here, which is kind of a bummer, but I mean, we understood. So anyway, there you go. I think we are, we have a good relationship going on, and I'm sure you guys can understand. We've been pretty transparent. We try to have these lives to discuss with you guys, and you guys, talk to us, and we're always available, or we try to be available as much as we can in the group or on social media. And I think this is important. We should always have conversations about the convention, where we're going, what we're doing with it. If we have questions, some of the first people we ask is you guys. Now, speaking of questions, I was talking to a good friend of mine the other day, actually a couple of days ago, and we started talking about some just Anime Matsuri related safety measures. So I see, there's a couple of people that even asked here, is Anime Matsuri still going to be happening with all these COVID stuff going on? Texas has some high COVID numbers at the moment. What are we doing about this? And valid questions. We talk about this stuff every day. As a matter of fact, every morning that we wake up, it's like it's something new. It it's like we're in a movie, and every morning is a new version of that movie. Something happens almost on the daily, and then we have to go back and like, okay, let's rediscuss this, so we can have a plan. Okay, this is what I think we should do, and then we wake up the next morning, and then we watch the news or we read something, and things have changed completely. So now we got to go back and back to the drawing board and figure out, replan, right? So when people ask us, what safety measures are you going to have at the convention? The reason that's a tricky question is because the convention is still 2 months away. I mean, a lot could happen in 2 months. So I could tell you what the safety measures would be if, let's say, the convention was next week, because the safety measures are designed for the event at the time. So if you go to the health professionals or the experts, they will say, well, that depends on the time and what's going on, you see. But anyway, so back to what I was saying. I was having a discussion with a friend of mine, and we were talking about safety measures at the convention. We're not taking any chances with health and safety. From the moment we decided we want to move forward with this event, one of the big things, obviously the biggest thing, was how can we do it, and what are we going to do about health and safety. The point is to have the event in a safe manner. And I'm sure you guys can understand that. Now, we want to do the right thing. We've always wanted to do the right thing. We care about the convention, we care about the community, and we care about our city. So we don't want to do anything to jeopardize, the health of anybody. And if we thought the event wasn't important, and if we thought we couldn't host this event in a safe way, or if things got out of hand, or if things got worse, or if we get to the point where we believe that we're taking a step forward and 2 steps back, then we probably won't host the event. And this is how it's been from the table. From the beginning, these options have been on the table. So when every time we move forward, or we announce something, or we talk to you guys and like, yeah, we're moving forward, is because we feel that we have a good plan in place. So I'll give you some examples. A while back, we announced that the GRB is going to have thermal scanners at the entrances, right? Okay, let me elaborate on that a little bit. So the GRB, so just imagine the GRB, right? Just imagine the first floor. You have, if you're facing the GRB, on the right side, you have the Hilton entrance, and on the left side, you have the Marriott entrance, right? So on the normal day, you have the front fascia of the GRB, and you have the glass, the glass doors, and there's a bunch of doors, and people can go in through any of those doors. So during our event, all of those doors are going to be closed. You can only go in through the right side, which is the Hilton side, or the left side, which is the Marriott side. Just those 2 entrances will be open. And those are the entrances that will monitor the people that are coming into the building. So those entrances will have thermal scanners, right? Now, the way they work is, they scan your temperature to make sure that you don't have a fever or you're not sick. Now, yes, I get it. And people have asked questions. Well, it's going to be 100 degrees outside. And yes, that's true. But the scanners are pretty intuitive. Not to mention, if someone, let's say, if the scanner scans someone and it thinks they have a fever, right? the protocol is to make the person just hang out there for like a couple of minutes in the AC, so the temperature comes down. So just in case you've made a mistake, right? And then scan them again. And if at that time it still registers the same thing, then they'll go from there. Now at the GRB for the event, on the normal circumstances, right, on a normal day, we would have like health professionals. And the reason they're there is because, I mean, that's standard for all events. You got to have health services just in case something happens. But this year it's different. It isn't just regular health professionals. We're going to have health professionals that are experts in COVID to deal with this just in case. Again, now going into the event, right? Now, depending on how many people attend, we don't even know how many people are going to come to the event, right? I mean, if it was a normal year, I could tell you, but now it's very tricky. We don't expect that many people. We don't expect the same amount of people that came last year. But when you think about it, right, when the people come in, just to give people some space, so they're not all crowded in the same, especially in the exhibit hall, right? Depending on how many people show up, we're prepared to have people go in batches. So when I say batches, these batches are going to rotate through the exhibit halls. So think of it like this. Let's say we have a group of people, and the first group is going to go into exhibit hall B, right? And then they're there for, I don't know, let's say an hour or half an hour or whatever, right? Then they go from exhibit hall B to exhibit hall C, and then a new group goes into B. And then they go from C to D, and just like that, if we're prepared to do that, if that's what it takes to keep any kind of like social distancing in place, and if we need to do that, right? All the vendor booths will have hand sanitizing stations, so that you could hand sanitize, or you could clean your hands before you touch anything. If you want to pick anything up, like a DVD or something like that, whatever, and you could sanitize your hands before and after, right there. And you don't have to walk away somewhere. And even if you don't have hand sanitizer on you, it's just right there at every booth. Moving on, masks. We're prepared to make masks mandatory if needed. So again, we're not sure because we're 2 months away, but masks mandatory, not just for the attendees, for our staff. I think we're prepared to do anything. Oh wow. So all right, Nick Ricada just sent a super chat. Ricada Law, keep rocking it, guys. The event is going to be awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate it, and I hope so too. We're doing our best to make the event awesome and to move forward. It's an interesting year. It's an interesting year, but we're doing our best. Okay, and thank you so much for that. It's really appreciated. Thank you so much. Okay, so more than that. Now our staff is, we're planning right now for our staff, all of the staff, to get tested every single day. Now all these measures seem pretty extreme, or maybe not, but we're prepared to do all these things. And these are just some of the things. This is not even all of them. Right? So the question becomes now is why? Why isn't it easier just to cancel the event? So here is where you guys can chime in. Right? So back to the conversation I was having with a friend of mine. there's two sides of this coin. Now, as I mentioned, we want to do the right thing. So now the question becomes, what is the right thing? What is the right thing to do, especially now under these circumstances? What is the right thing? Now, on one end, some can say that the right thing to do is to cancel the event. And the reason for that, actually, there's two main reasons why canceling the event would be the right thing. And in this case, the reason is because, well, number one, some would argue that having an event like a mass gathering like this spreads COVID. And I mean, I could see it from that point of view. Number two is having an event encourages people to go out. So hosting this event and when people see other people attending the event, it encourages them to go out instead of staying at home.
Blackout.
Oh, oh, shoot. What happened? Okay, let me fix this real quick. Whoop. Sorry about that. Let's see. You come back on. Video is video. Oh. You guys can still hear me, right? Oh, there we go. I'm sorry about that. So that's one side of the coin, right? And I mean, can you guys see it from that point of view? I mean, I can see it and I can understand. Now, the flip side of the coin is this. And before I make the case for the flip side of the coin, I want to point something out. Now, there is a lot of people in general that have stayed home. So remember, well, at least here. So I'm going to use Houston. Or I can use Texas, actually, and this could work anywhere else. A couple of months ago, when most people stayed home, it was, even though in Texas here we didn't have any mandates, but it was just like all the businesses were closed, and they told people to stay home, and most people stayed home. You could drive out on the streets, and literally there was not that many people. Certainly, it's completely different from what it is today, right? And people stayed home and got to the point where they couldn't do it anymore. So today, there's lots of people that are going out. And these people are going to go out regardless. Now, on a normal summer day or summer weekend, when people go out, they have lots of things to do. They have lots of options. So when you think about it, let's take downtown Houston. You go to a baseball game at Minute Maid Park, or you could go see a Rockets game at the Toyota Center. There's theater. There's movies. There's tons of movies in the summer, right? There is restaurants, bars. There's so many activities. There's things going on in the park. There's all kinds of things happening. And you have the choice. So people go out and with their families, and they just kind of like spread out and they go different places. But now you don't have any of those activities, and not all those places are closed. So the people that go out regardless of whether businesses are open or closed, they still want to go out because they can't stay in. They feel like they can't stay at home anymore. So when they go out, they overcrowd the few places that they can go. So, for example, the beaches. The reason there's so many people at the beach is because they have nowhere else to go. Or the parks. There's tons of people, and there's no social distancing. They're just all there because, again, they have nowhere to go. I mean, you guys can see this point of view, right? The movie theaters, for example, are opening on July 15th, and I believe, I think that would be a good thing because at least it'll give people options. At least it's an option to go, and the movie theaters are gonna make sure people are safe, right? So I think AMC and Cinemark, I can't remember which ones, they probably will have mandatory face masks and some social distancing. So in other words, going to the theater to see a movie will be a lot safer than going to the beach. In this case, I guess what I'm trying to say is, oh, in this case, what I'm trying to say is having an event that has good health and safety measures could be a good thing, because if you look at it from the point of view of, well, people are going to go out anyway, isn't it safer for them to go to be at the George R. Brown where there's health and safety measures? At least they can have some fun in a safe way, as opposed to them going to the beach or going to some other place, or they're overcrowding the bars or like that, where there's no control. There is no health and safety measures there. No one's monitoring them. Right? So that's the flip side of it. Now I don't know what do you think? What do you think about this? Now I've talked to a bunch of people that are on either side of this line. Now what we believe that hosting Anime Matsuri would actually help, because the escapism that people want can be provided safely, or as safe as possible. And if people are going to go out anyway, then they might as well go to a place that has thermal scanners and hand sanitizer stations, and it's safe. What do you think about that? And there's a super chat right here, Songstress Miku. Thank you for all you do to keep us safe for this highly anticipated event. I'm so excited for my first time attending. My husband went the last 2 years, so we're excited to go. Keep it up. Thank you so much, Songstress Miku. $10 super chat. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm sure people are typing away here. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. The other thing is, I think that people now are a lot more cautious than they were 2 or 3 months ago. Because now I think even when you watch people outside or at the grocery store, they're a lot more careful. Most of them wear masks. People understand now, just wash your hands and keep good hygiene. I from my observation, I think that this is correct. I don't know what you guys think. Here's Oh, Kurono says, you make very valid points, Anime Matsuri. The safety of the attendees fans is the most important thing. Yep. Hero says, I need some escapism, especially with how 2020 has turned out. Yes, me too. Me too, my friend. Yes, I would need some too. Um, I would like, if you guys don't mind, right? Let me. What I did, what I did this morning, right? I prepared, I prepared a little poll of like what 5 questions. And if you guys don't mind, would you mind answering these questions? And if you go, so let me see here. So if you guys go to animematsuri.com, and if you go to blog, see where it says up here, the first entry says poll about health measures at Anime Matsuri 2020. If you click on that, there are 5 questions. So the first question is, should we make wearing masks mandatory in the convention in general? So this is for the convention in general. All attendees should wear masks. Should we make that mandatory? That's number one, right? The second question is, should we make masks mandatory while signing autographs? Obviously, this is because you're coming in close proximity with a guest, right? And if you think about it, this is the table, it's 2 feet wide, so you're on that end and the guest is on this end. We're trying to keep both safe, right? And when I say masks, so we're talking about you wearing a mask and the guest wearing a mask. Okay, now this goes to question number 3. So on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being not important and 5 being very important, how important is it to you to see the guest's face while getting an autograph? Now, I think that it's important. Because if you have just anyone, take a guest, anyone, Kaho Shibuya, came from Japan, and as yes, we would like to give her a mask, obviously, to be safe. The last thing we want is for her to come here and get sick. But I guess anyone that wants her autograph just wants to see what her face looks like in person, correct? So in this case, if we have to do anything with autographs where the guest isn't wearing a mask, then we're going to have to put some plexiglass barrier or something along those lines to protect them. This is what this question is for. So, is it important, or how important is it to you? Right? So that's that. If you can choose that. Now the fourth question is, if we have the following health measures at the convention center during AM, how safe would you feel? 1 is not so safe and 5 is very safe. Mandatory masks, thermal scanners at the entrances, on-site health experts. And then finally, the last question is, how important is it to you, or how important to you is Anime Matsuri being hosted this year? You know, escapism, mental health, socializing safely. 1 is not so important, and 5, very important. So if you guys don't mind, I mean, maybe I should put the link. Hold on. Yep, there's the link. So I appreciate it. I would very much appreciate it if you guys go there and Now, just also to be clear with the masks, we're prepared to give every attendee a mask. If we have to do that, we're prepared to do that. As a matter of fact, I think the last couple of streams, you saw Matt Frank design some Godzilla masks. Maybe that, and every attendee can have one. I mean, he's making 2 or 3 different versions, and I guess people can get to choose. He's making those, and we're getting the approval from Toho. And if that's a go, then we'll make masks for everybody, right? And thank you, and whoever, just everyone that's done the poll, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. It'll definitely help us out here. And honestly, just be honest. This is, we're trying to have an honest, open conversation about some of these things. I understand some of them are not very easy to talk about. They're sensitive, but we're in a sensitive situation, and we're trying to make the best of it. It's very challenging, but I feel if we talk more and if we decide and we can help each other out here, we can have an event. As crazy as that sounds this year. Now, speaking of this, here's what our badges look like. These are just 2 of the badges. That's the 4-day pass, and that's the super pass. I think that the Anime Matsuri badges have always been really, really cool. I love them so much. I mean, I'm not saying this just because I work for Anime Matsuri. I just think that they're super cool, regardless. And this year, looking at these badges, wow. And this is the first time on the Super Pass here. This is the first time ever that we've had a collaboration mascot. On our badges. It's the first time, and that took a bunch of approvals, to say the least. So what do you guys think? I think it's awesome. I hope every day we wake up in the morning, we just pray that things get better. We can't control people, and we can't control the numbers. We can't control COVID. We can't control any of these things. What we can do is we can encourage people to understand that the virus is real. We can encourage them to social distance. If they're sick, if you feel sick, stay at home and wear a mask and practice good hygiene, just so that we can get into a better situation. We don't like seeing the numbers go up. We don't like when people are stressed because of the situation. And we understand this is causing a lot of stress for a lot of people. And what we want to do is we want to make things better. We want to bring happiness. And we hope things get better. There's many interesting things that we want to show you at this convention. One day, maybe after this event, I don't know, maybe in 2021, one day, or maybe we should have a panel in 2021. As a matter of fact, I would love to have that. A panel in 2021 where I will tell you guys everything that we planned to do in 2020 that we couldn't do because of COVID. Yeah. You would be surprised. And if let's say if if the convention if we get to host this convention and meet everybody, there's so many cool things to see. But also remember, there's many things that we couldn't do, or we were planning to do, were in the process of doing, and had to stop because of COVID. We've always enjoyed bringing content, bringing exciting things to Anime Matsuri, to Houston, to show you guys. We love sharing all these things with you guys. You guys remember the Evangelion exhibition from 2018? Just bringing Godzilla, bringing Sailor Moon, bringing all the cool things that we did. We've always enjoyed sharing these things with you, and all the guests that come have always enjoyed coming. They've enjoyed meeting you. We bring guests that are exciting, that want to come. Again, I said we listened to your recommendations. There was a petition, and almost 10,000 people signed a petition to bring Vic to our event, and we reached out to him to bring him because you guys asked for him. It's as simple as that. The convention is for you, and the most important people in the building are the attendees. And we do what we can to make you happy and share different stories and experiences with you guys. So we get excited every time there's something new that we can score to bring to Houston to show you guys. Let me give you an example. So a couple of days ago, this was picked up and is now heading towards Houston. Let me show you. What you're looking at here, this is a life-size figure of Rem from ReZero. This figure was debuted in December last year, or November, or October, at Wonderfest in Japan. Or was it February? Maybe. Thanks, February, yeah. Look at this thing. Look at the detail on this thing. This thing is it's probably like 6.5 feet tall. You know, I've seen this in person, and I can't express to you how this made me feel. I can't express to you how excited I was. I became like a little kid. I can't wait for you guys to see this in person, in Houston at the convention center, in a booth. And these things, you know, these things they're on their way here. Good Smile Racing has sent all the merchandise. We have Godzilla, they're on their way here. No one has any guarantees, like 100% guarantee that this event can happen, because we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen next month or in 2 months. We hope things will get better. We hope every day. And we hope that we can bring this, even in some form, bring this event for you guys. Some people might say things like, oh, well, they're not canceling because all they care about is profits, or all they care about. No, it's not. Profits this year? Are you kidding? No. This is about bringing, at least trying to bring some smiles and some happiness to people that actually need it. We just don't want to do that and obviously jeopardize people's health, which is the trick. And there is a super chat. Wow. Christine Hanzopoulos. Wow, that's a $50 super chat. This is thanks for inviting Vic. Your precautions sound great, but unfortunately, I am at very high risk for COVID. I want to go so badly, but I live in New York City, and I'm afraid to travel. But I will buy any supporting membership you offer. Christine, thank you so much. This is so kind of you. Really, really appreciate this. Thank you so much. And yeah, it's our pleasure. You guys asked for Vic, and the least we could do is do that. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is great. I really appreciate this. We feel so honored. Thank you so much for your support. You know, our attendees this year have been fantastic. It's just so much love and so much support, and we're trying to do our best. And I'm sure you guys can see and understand. And I'm sure you can also see that we've been as transparent as we can. We're working as best as we can. I mean, it's hard. This year, we've worked so hard this year. We've probably worked harder this year than any other year. But hey, this is the commitment. And I think more than anything, I'd like to thank you guys for sticking around. So again, I really hope, things get better. I hope this event happens. I would love it. I would love more than anything to see, just so I can meet people and see people's faces and bring some happiness to everyone. Also, just real quick on this notes. If you go, wait, let me get back to, where's the browser? I think Denise mentioned this the last time, but on the website, if you go on under accommodation, so if you click on location and travel and then accommodation right here, we've added, so there's the Hilton Americas, there's the Marriott Marquis, and we've added the Embassy Suites, Houston downtown. This is almost like diagonal from the Hilton, so it's right next to the convention center. This hotel isn't connected to the convention center with a sky bridge. So even though it's the same price, the rooms here are $169. So the same price as the Hilton. The Hilton is connected to the convention center via sky bridge. That's the advantage. But this one is a suite. This one provides suites, so you have a little suite and a little kitchen, and I guess it's pretty awesome. So this was added. I think it's also added to the app. And if I'm not mistaken, we're adding the Four Seasons or so sometime before this weekend or by early next week. Let me go back here. Jason Wen. The C virus may impact our lives, but as a staff, I want to make this best AM for 2020. Thank you for doing this, John. No, thank you, Jason Wen. Thank you. Thank you for being our staff, and thank you for hanging in there. I know it's scary, and I know you didn't have to do it. You could have just excused yourself, and you could have just said, "This is too crazy. I don't think I can do it this year." You could have done that. That would be the easiest option. But you chose to stay, and you chose to be a staff and work at a convention during a pandemic. So thank you. Thank you. I cannot thank you enough. In a way, I feel like everyone on staff that's going to be at the event, they're all like frontline workers, like in the hospital. It takes some courage, but they're doing it anyway. And I think that's very, very, very valuable. And which is why I think that our staff, there's some phenomenal people. We're so lucky to have the people that we have on staff. And I think I'm honored, definitely honored to have them. Over the past couple of weeks, we've been having different meetings and online meetings, and we'll get on Zoom and discuss. And their enthusiasm is overwhelming. There's people that just generally feel that we're doing the right thing and they want to do it too. They want to help. I guess people see their friends and then they see other people, they see people being impacted by not just COVID, but there's healthy people suffering. There's people that are stressed out. There's people that are having issues right now in their marriages and relationships. And the stress level is up the roof. Mental health is, it's crazy right now. And I feel very honored that we have our staff is so diverse, and there's people from all over that believe and advocate for different things. So whenever we sit down to discuss anything, there's so many points of view. I advocate a lot for mental health, right? Denise is more of children's health, and she loves anything to do with children. And then we have like Peachy, that's more like children with disability. We have Massey, who's more into the LGBTQ plus rights. And that's our cosplay head. We have people that advocate for different things, and people that are into different things, and people that believe different things. It's amazing. We have all kinds of religions, and we get along. This is why I love the convention so much. We get along. We all get along. It's like magic. So it is possible for people that are not the same to get along. It is possible because that's what happens at the convention all the time. So whenever we discuss anything, you see the different points of views. Somebody will say something, and then somebody will say something that's, a point of view that's completely different, and we still figure everything out. And that's how the convention, forms itself. This is how we discuss matters at the convention. And I think this is pretty special. And if we, as the staff, if we believe that, that's how, that's the work and the love, and it reflects on the convention and the attendees. Anime Matsuri is literally a place where you can come and be yourself no matter who you are. And it's okay. You won't be judged. It's fine. Doesn't matter who you are, and doesn't matter what you believe in. Just come in there, and not only can you be yourself, you'll get along with everybody, or with most people, which is fantastic. It's one of the things I love most about the convention. My dad's black and my mom's white. My wife is Asian. My children are everything. So I see things from different points of views, and I can understand. I can put myself in different shoes. So I have to say, speaking of the staff, I have to say that I tip my hat to you. Thank you so much for everything. Well, thank you so much for tonight. Thank you so much for this stream. I mostly wanted to discuss with you guys health and safety at the convention and just different things that we are implementing and we're planning. And as things go along, as things move forward, there might be more things implemented, less things. Again, it just depends on the situation. But I want you guys to understand that the health and safety of the staff and the attendees and just everyone in the building is paramount. And we have to believe that we can host the event safely for us to even move forward. And it is way more complicated this year because there's just so many things to think about. That even with all this said and done, we choose, if we can move forward, if we can continue, then we hope to continue and move forward. If we get to a point where we can't move forward anymore, then you're going to be the first to know. But as of now, things seem still, I guess, okay. So hopefully, things get better. I appreciate everything. Thank you so much. And, well, I guess, what is today? So maybe there might be one more stream before Sunday. Or if not, I guess Denise will be here on Sunday. Once again, thank you so much. And thank you for joining us. And I guess we'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.